leave it all behind you. I said, take down everything that stands in your way. Don't stop believing it'll work out again, my friend. Stand out and be a part of everything good. Wake up, you're gonna be all that you should. Try out all the things you've always wanted to be. You'll see, 'cause I know what I know, that you've got it in you, and I see that you are a winner.
So I have some news. Unfortunately, it's not an absolute for sure thing yet, because there's a lot of conditions that I must meet and testing I must complete and pass. So it's only a possible good thing, but at least, okay, I might have a job. I applied for the position of a part-time transit operator here in King County. It's Metro operator. Would be a training position. I've applied for this before in the past, and I've never made it through the assessment. Well, I did pass the assessment this time, and yesterday I had to drive down to Tukwila and have the interview, and I had a very good feeling from that interview. They told me that this morning I should check my email, because if I passed the interview process, I would get a conditional offer of employment. Kind of like this one right here. So I'm very excited. I have passed the interview process. Now they're doing a background check. They're going to do a drug and alcohol history check, which I'm not at all afraid of. They'll check my driving record. I'll have to go through a physical. So anyway, the letter reads, dated April 23rd, 2015. Congratulations. This letter is a conditional offer of employment as a part-time transit operator trainee. This employment offer is contingent upon Transit Human Resources completion of reference checks, a criminal conviction review, satisfactory completion of a 2-year drug testing background check from your previous employers, and upon you meeting the pre-employment requirements listed below. Your anticipated hire date is May 18th, 2015 for the PM training class. Read the instructions carefully to complete the process. This offer is contingent upon you completing the following. Pass the 3 commercial driver's permit written tests, general knowledge, air brake and passenger endorsement, and have an I endorsement placed on your license. Demonstrating an acceptable driving history by obtaining your current 5-year Washington State abstract of complete driving record. Successfully completing the DOT drug and alcohol test, and pass a 2-year drug and alcohol background check. Successfully passing current and previous employer reference checks. Successfully passing a criminal background review, which you will need to complete online once you receive an email from our vendor, safescreener.com. Satisfactorily completing the physical exam necessary to receive an acceptable DOT medical card and/or waiver that is approved by King County Metro. If all of the above requirements are not completed, it will jeopardize your ability to enter training. I have already scheduled your employment physical exam with drug and alcohol screen for you on May 1st, 2015. You will need to meet with my associate at Transit Human Resources. She gives the time and date prior to your physical exam appointment to show in order to show your CDL permit, your SR 520, 320, and a copy of your current 5-year Washington State abstract of complete driving record. You will also be required to fill out paperwork necessary for me to complete your DOT 2-year drug and alcohol background check. If you are not successful in obtaining these items, your physical will need to be rescheduled for another date, and the delay may result in an inability for you to start training on time. Then she talks about where you go to park and all that good stuff, and where the physical is. While you are completing the conditions of your offer, Transit Human Resources will be completing reference checks with current and previous employers based on the information you provided in your application. Once all the conditions of this offer have been met, you will be issued a formal offer of employment as a part-time transit operator trainee. All aspects of the pre-employment process must be completed no later than Tuesday, May 12, 2015. Training classes are held, and she talks about where this is, in Tukwila, so it's pretty far away. It's about, well, it's further away from here. It's about, I'm about 25 miles north of Seattle. It's about 20 miles south of Seattle. Okay, training classes are held in Tukwila. An additional review day is required on the first Saturday after 15 days driving as a qualified driver. Pay rate during the training will be $12.41 per hour. Upon successful completion of training, you will be promoted to the part-time transit operator position, and your hourly rate will be $21.15 per hour, which will be more than I've ever earned per hour in my entire life. The hours for a PM training class are from 2 to 6:30 p.m. weekdays and 7 to 3:30 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday. So it's 33 consecutive days that I will be in this training. Assuming that I can pass the physical and I can get all the, I can pass the 3 tests that are required and pass the background check and all that good stuff. So there's a lot of conditions still that I have to meet. And then I'm going to have to go 33 days where I'm being paid not very much an hour. So I will still be driving for Uber and Lyft very much to make up for that. It does mean I will have to give up my job driving for Munchery, but I think this would be worth it. This would be, for me, a new career. I don't even know if I can call what I had before a career. Is being a follow-up biller for various companies, is that a career? To me, driving a bus is a career. That's a career. That's something that I can say, hey, I'm a bus driver for, you know, King County. It'd be a really cool thing. And the possibility of becoming full-time would be very good. I think it just all depends. You start out in this kind of a job, you're going to get the worst runs, the worst times. I'll probably work like swing shift type of thing where I'll work maybe 3 or 4 hours in the morning, take some hours off, and then have to go back and drive again. Probably be driving, chances of being driving late at night is probably pretty good. You know, all the runs that the veterans don't want to do, that's the runs that they probably put new people on. But, you know, I think willingness to do whatever they ask and be there whenever they ask at the drop of a hat, flexibility, can-do attitude, all that good stuff. I think if I impress them and don't call in sick, you know, be reliable and responsible and all that, I would have a good chance. But first I have to get through all this stuff before I can even be a trainee. So it's a conditional offer. I have to jump through a bunch of hoops. But I have never made it this far along in the process. The other thing is you have to be able to do push-ups, sit-ups, and you don't have to run, just walk quickly in a treadmill. I was a little bit worried about sit-ups because since my 20s I've not done sit-ups. Chiropractor said they're bad for your back. So I've not done sit-ups. So I was like, oh my gosh, can I even still do sit-ups? I tried the other night, I couldn't do them. I was very upset, very worried. now with this, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to be able to do a sit-up. So I found something really heavy to put my feet under, and then I found that I could do full sit-ups. I did several. So it's not just one, I did several. So I have a little bit more than a week to practice doing sit-ups and push-ups, which I can only do girly push-ups. Back in my day when I was doing exercise and weightlifting before I developed this wonderful urticaria problem, I used to be able to do guy push-ups. I was very proud of that. Now, no way I would even try. But I can do girly push-ups, and I suspect that they will be okay with that. So yeah, I'm also a little bit overweight, but I don't think it's a problem. I think they're going to be more concerned about the state of my heart. And driving from Monterey, I've been doing a lot of hiking up hills and running. I've been having to run. I've been having to go up steep steps, long steep steps, lots of uphill climbs. So that's kind of gotten, if I did have an out of shape heart, I think it's probably in better shape now. I don't think I will have a problem with the physical test. The only thing that would be a possible detriment to me is my hearing. I am half deaf in this ear. So that could possibly stand in my way of getting this job. Hopefully not. I mean, I drive a lot. I haven't been in an accident that was my fault, really, ever. So I have a really good driving record, and hopefully that will they will put all that, keep all that in mind too. So yeah, this is my big news. I was holding a lot of this because I wanted to see if I would make it through the application process, the whole applying, getting the assessment passed, which is very hard, getting through the interview process yesterday. I never made it that far before. I made it that far and I passed. So now is the final hurdle, and that's all this other stuff that you have to do. If I pass, if I get through all those hurdles, I will be working for King County. I will have benefits. Even as a part-time employee, you get benefits. Finally, I will have benefits. It will be such a huge relief. If I go through and I pass all this stuff, if I get my endorsement on my license and I get my permit, my CDL permit, I will put insurance back on my motorcycle, and I will start driving my motorcycle to Tukwila, so I can save on wear and tear on my car. And that would be a lot of fun, driving on during the summer. The training will be in May to June, so the weather will be good, and I'll be getting to do a lot of driving on the highway on my motorcycle, which would be a lot of fun. So it's a whole new adventure if I can get past this last hurdle. So for all my atheist friends out there, keep them crossed. It will be a decent job. It's not such a great pay during the training, but it'll be a decent job if I can get through the training. And I'm very excited. I tried to apply to be a bus driver several times in my life, early in my 20s, and several times during my life when I got tired of sitting in a stupid cubicle talking on the phone, and I never passed the assessment, usually because of the new math questions, or the math questions, which I suck at. Metro didn't have any math questions on their assessment. I passed the assessment. I not only passed it, I was the first one in the room that was done. I walked out the door. I was the first one out the door. And when I met with the lady yesterday for the interview, she looked at me. She goes, I had a feeling you'd be quick to finish that test. And I was. So I'm just very excited. This is exciting for me, and I just ask you guys to keep positive thoughts, keep them crossed. Maybe in the near-distant future, is that even correct? Maybe in the not-so-distant future, you won't have to hear me whining anymore about not having insurance and being too poor. You know, if I have this job, if I make it to where I'm driving full-time, or not full-time, if I make it to where I'm driving and I am officially a part-time driver, I'll be making 21 something an hour. I will still drive. I will still drive for Uber and Lyft as a filler, as a part-time thing, but I will not be dependent on it. I will save wear and tear on my car. I will be doing so much better financially. So keep them crossed. And hopefully the next couple of weeks I can get my act together, get these tests done. I don't think that it'll be a problem. This is not the CDL. It's not the CDL test. It's just the test that you have to take to get the permit. So how hard can they be, you know? So I'm studying a lot. That's what I'll be doing for the next 7 days before I'm going to try to get all 3 of these tests done before May 1st when I have to show up for the physical. They want you to have them before then, so that's what I'll be doing. Keep them crossed for me. Thanks for listening if you have. Bye!